Do you feel like you're living in the middle of an information storm? Every morning starts with your phone. Every lunch break scrolls through TikTok. Every night you collapse with a mind that has no quiet corner to return to. We live in an age where attention has become the most precious resource, and yet the easiest to lose. But if you stop for just 1 minute, to truly listen to the wind, to notice your breath, or to silently observe the restless dance of your mind, you may begin to realize there is a space of awareness within you that no technology can reach. And from that space, healing, creativity, and real freedom begin. This series is not just here to help you understand, but to gently invite you on a journey back to the awakened self within you. If this is your first time here at Buddha Balance, click subscribe so you won't miss upcoming videos on meditation, mindfulness, modern psychology, and timeless wisdom. You can also share this video with someone who may need just one quiet minute. The pain of distraction, when the mind leaves the body. Where are you really living your life? In your phone or in the empty moments of your consciousness? We often cram our entire day into screens. From the moment we wake up with a phone in hand, to watching cooking videos, switching to social media, and then zoning out in front of a laptop, all while the Apple Watch beeps every time we try to concentrate. Productivity author and researcher Chris Bailey shared a powerful experience in his well-known TED Talk. He decided to limit his phone use to just 30 minutes per day for a full month. This wasn't just a digital detox, it was a journey to reclaim mental stillness in a world flooded with stimulation. Before that, like most people, he lived through his devices, waking up with his phone, cooking with an iPad, working on a laptop, all while being constantly interrupted by his Apple Watch. Chris realized the phone wasn't just a tool, it was a constant emotional stimulator, quietly feeding a dopamine addiction. We think we are being distracted. But the more painful truth is, we are seeking distraction. Our minds are overstimulated and have forgotten how to rest. This deeply reflects the Buddha's teaching on the 5 hindrances, the greatest obstacles to a clear and settled mind. These include 1. Desire, craving for sensation, 2. Anger, 3. Sloth, laziness and dullness, 4. Restlessness and remorse, and 5. Doubt, lack of faith. Of these, restlessness/remorse, trouble settling the mind, is the most modernly recognizable. Like a monkey swinging from branch to branch, the modern mind cannot sit still. It always wants to do something, check something, seek novelty. This restlessness erodes our ability to be fully present, and is one of the root causes of today's deep mental exhaustion. Every 40 seconds, we abandon our focus. Each time may seem small, but over time it accumulates into a life that feels blurry, unstable, hidden beneath a busy surface. It's not that we lack time, we lack an anchor for the mind to return to. In the Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha said, "One who is mindful knows what they are doing, where they are, and whether their actions are wholesome or not." And that mindfulness only arises when we truly stop. Chris did what many dream of but fear to try. He created space for his mind to rest. And in that space, ideas began to connect. Visions for the future began to emerge. This aligns exactly with neuroscience findings. The human brain begins to think about the future when it's allowed to relax. And that is where AI begins to fall behind humans. What AI cannot do is daydream, associate abstractly, think long-term, or access intuitive insights. AI may be learning faster than humans. But when a human stops and dissolves into the moment, creativity awakens. In ancient scriptures, the Buddha never taught us to do more. He taught us to act with full awareness. In today's hyperactive world, perhaps it is time to remember, focus is not just a skill, it is the gateway to inner freedom. When the mind is still, wisdom awakens, learning a new skill in 20 hours. All great things begin with clumsiness. But if your mind is steady, then from that clumsiness a resilient wisdom will bloom. That statement has never felt more true than in the ukulele journey of Josh Kaufman, author and entrepreneur, who shared a simple yet revolutionary insight in his famous TED Talk. You don't need 10,000 hours to learn a new skill, you just need 20 hours of intentional practice. Balancing fatherhood and running a business from home, Josh found himself in a familiar crisis, the feeling that there was no time left to learn anything new, no space for curiosity. What puzzled him the most was how every book and article emphasized the 10,000-hour rule as a benchmark for success. How could a busy young father, like many of us, ever have 10,000 hours? The answer came from personal experience. He didn't need to become an expert, just good enough to experience growth. And 20 hours became the perfect threshold. How to learn anything in 20 hours? Kaufman shared a 4-step formula, which sounds simple but is profoundly effective when applied correctly. Deconstruct the skill. Most of us view a skill as one large, complex entity. The first step is to untangle it. You don't learn to play the ukulele, you learn each basic chord, how to place your fingers, how to strum. By breaking the skill into manageable parts, you can approach each piece clearly and strategically. It's like meditation. No one becomes enlightened instantly. They start by simply sitting still. Learn enough to self-correct. Instead of getting lost in endless books, learn just enough to begin and catch your own mistakes along the way. Knowledge comes alive through experience. You don't need to read 10 books on drawing, just 1 to 2 beginner videos to start practicing. Then, correcting your own mistakes accelerates learning significantly. Remove distractions. Our minds are easily hijacked by notifications, social media, and unresolved tasks. Learning a new skill is also about training your ability to create space for focus. Turn off your phone, close the door, and devote your attention fully. This is not just a technical move, it's a ritual of nourishing awareness. Commit to at least 20 hours of intentional practice. This is the core. Commitment means pushing through boredom, mediocrity, and self-doubt. Intentional practice doesn't mean robotic repetition, but mindful effort. You observe, adjust, and stay present. Like a meditator, it's not how long you sit, but how present you are with each breath. It sounds simple, but it hides a deeper truth. The biggest barrier is not intelligence, but emotion. We don't start learning because we fear being bad at it. The feeling of being stupid has killed more dreams than the lack of intelligence ever has. Meditation is like learning the ukulele. Everyone begins awkwardly. Buddhist philosophy teaches that every path to enlightenment begins with clumsy steps. In the first hours of meditation, people often feel leg pain, boredom, drowsiness, or random anxiety. But if you get through those first hours, the mind begins to settle, just like the sound of Josh's ukulele became more soulful with each minute of practice. Like meditation, learning a new skill retrains the mind. With every patient chord, brushstroke, or cooking mishap, you are training mindfulness in a different form. Each meditation session is a lesson in staying with yourself. Each ukulele practice is a retraining of patience eroded by technology. Real-life examples, ordinary people learning extraordinary things. Lena, 68, learned digital painting on an iPad in just 3 weeks. After 45 minutes a day, she was able to draw a portrait of her grandchild, something she once thought impossible because she was too old. Mark, a tech worker in Austin, Texas, used to think pour-over coffee was just a hipster trend. But after 30 hours of serious practice, not only could he make the perfect cup, he also developed a meditation habit while waiting for each drop. I learned patience, not just with coffee, but with myself. Emily, a second-year psychology student in California, practiced 5 basic yoga poses over 10 days due to stress and body tension from school. After 20 hours, she wrote in her journal, "I no longer stretch my arms, I open my heart." These achievements weren't born from talent, but from a decision to push past the voice saying, "I can't." Mind and technology, will you learn with AI or relearn yourself? In an age where AI does everything faster, people wonder, why should I even learn anymore? But Buddhism never emphasizes outcomes, it focuses on the mindful experience within each action. AI can write songs, translate languages, and generate images, but it can't feel clumsiness, overcome fear of failure, or know the pride of playing your first melody after 20 hours of effort. It is in overcoming awkwardness that we rediscover our essence, patience, presence, and joy without conditions. You don't need to be an expert. You just need the courage to begin. Final note, the 20-hour journey is a spiritual practice. In a world constantly pushing us to become superhuman, starting something with the acceptance that we will be clumsy is an act of inner revolution. Give 20 hours to anything that stirs your heart, learning a language, cooking, meditating, painting, playing music, or simply learning to rest. Because each hour you are truly present is an hour nurturing the awakened self within you. Rewiring the human mind in the age of AI, when humans do what machines cannot. AI can write poems, translate books, and create paintings. But only humans can live, fail, overcome, and awaken. As AI develops at an unprecedented speed, composing music, generating images, even engaging in strategic thinking, a profound question arises: is there anything left that truly belongs to humanity, which AI cannot replace? The answer doesn't lie in computational power or logic. It lies in the mind and the focus of a human being, something that cannot be copied, programmed, or trained. It can only be lived and experienced. Mental overload, the silent crisis of the digital era. According to research presented by Chris Bailey in his TED Talk, How to Get Your Brain to Focus, when working on a computer, especially with your phone in sight, your brain can only maintain focus for around 40 seconds before being distracted. It gets worse when apps like Slack, emails, and social media are all open. Why? Not because we are mentally weak, but because we live in an overstimulated environment. Every time we check Instagram, scroll YouTube, or receive a TikTok notification, the brain releases dopamine, a feel-good chemical similar to eating hot pizza or receiving praise. It forms a subconscious reflex, the pursuit of novelty to satisfy a subtle addiction. This isn't just a physiological issue, it's a spiritual blockade. In Buddhism, this mirrors the states of desire, kama, and restlessness, adhaka, where the mind craves sensation and is unable to sit still with itself. You cannot find truth in a mind that is always seeking something else. Stillness, a space for creativity and mindfulness. Chris Bailey conducted an odd experiment. He eliminated his phone, reduced stimulation, and intentionally created boredom in his daily life. He counted zeros in the digits of pi, watched the second-hand tick on a clock, and read Apple's terms of service. Surprisingly, these activities led to a surge in creative ideas. Neuroscience confirms that the human mind tends to wander into the future when left idle, and it is in these intentional daydreaming states that novel ideas and unexpected insights often emerge. We cannot create when we are constantly reacting. But when we pause, something deeper begins to awaken. Not all who wander are lost, many are simply finding their way home. J.R.R. Tolkien. AI cannot meditate, and that is its permanent limit. AI can process billions of data points, simulate human emotions, and even write with emotional tones. But it has no consciousness. It does not know pain. It does not know love. It does not know presence. AI may simulate a meditative state, but it cannot experience the silence within. It can analyze emotions but can never understand the fear of beginning something new or the pride in overcoming it. Meanwhile, humans, with minds that tremble and hearts that persevere, are the living body of true evolution. AI may mimic thought, but it cannot replicate the depth of a mind that has sat quietly in the dark. Resetting the mind, a modern act of rebellion. When you dare to unplug at 8 p.m. When you sit still for 5 minutes without touching your phone. When you walk outside without headphones. When you choose to exist without scrolling anything. You are resisting a system that wants to define you by data. You don't need to learn faster. You need to slow down to learn more meaningfully. You don't need to understand everything. You just need enough stillness to hear yourself. And you don't need to race against machines, because you are not one. Closing words, returning as a human being. In the age of AI, we won't be replaced because we're weaker. We'll be replaced if we forget what makes us human. Make space, not to escape, but to return. Every minute of true presence, whether gazing at a leaf, feeling your heartbeat, or looking into a loved one's eyes, is a miracle that cannot be digitized. AI can do many things, but only humans can truly awaken. If something in this reflection resonates with you, take a moment to subscribe to Buddha Balance, and share this video with those who care about mindfulness, meditation, and inner awakening. Who knows? A minute of presence you plant today might blossom into someone else's transformation tomorrow.